Once upon a time, in the vibrant land of Owari, a legendary figure was born, Kato Kiyomasa. Born on June 24, 1562, as the son of a master swordsmith named Kato Kiyotada. He started his journey with the name Yashimaru, and later adopted the moniker Toranosuke. Young Toranosuke's mother, Ito, was a devout believer in education. Determined to provide her son with the best opportunities, she enrolled him in the renowned Myoenji temple, where he received teachings from a wise monk. Little did they know that this early education would shape the path of Toranosuke's destiny. In 1573, fate intertwined the lives of Toranosuke's mother, Ito, and the mother of Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Known as Naka, it was through this connection that Toranosuke found himself in the service of none other than the formidable Toyotomi Hideyoshi, as one of his personal attendants. Hideyoshi, who lacked biological children of his own, cherished his wife, One, deeply and treated Toranosuke and his relative Fukushima Masanori as his own beloved sons. With his towering stature and remarkable martial skills, Toranosuke quickly caught the attention of those around him, who held high expectations for his future. In a daring display of youthful bravado, Toranosuke engaged in a pact with two other prodigies known as the Three Heroes of the Kato clan, Morimoto Ikoku and Iida no Okage. They made a solemn promise that the one who lost in their childhood duel would become a loyal retainer of the victor. In a twist of fate, Kato Kiyomasa emerged victorious, and both Ikoku and Naokage became steadfast retainers for life. Thus, the foundation was laid for the extraordinary journey of Kato Kiyomasa, whose remarkable feats would echo through the annals of history. Stay tuned for more tales of adventure, valor, and the indomitable spirit of Kato Kiyomasa. In the year 1576, a transformation took place as young Kato Toranosuke became Kato Kiyomasa, adorned with a new name and unyielding determination. He eagerly joined Toyotomi Hideyoshi's grand expedition to conquer China. During this time, the mighty Mori clan had erected the formidable Seven Frontier Castles in Bichu Province, serving as a frontline defense against the ambitions of Oda Nobunaga. Undeterred, Kato Kiyomasa marched forward with the Toyotomi forces, ready to face any challenge that awaited them. In April of 1582, the combined armies of Toyotomi and Ukita, numbering 20,000 and 10,000 respectively, laid siege to Kanyama Castle. The castle boasted a garrison of over 3,500 soldiers, and the initial skirmishes witnessed fierce resistance, resulting in significant casualties for both Toyotomi and Ukita forces. However, amidst the chaos of the Battle of Kanyama Castle, it was Kato Kiyomasa who emerged as the hero of the hour. He bravely engaged in a one-on-one duel with the enemy general, Takei Shokin, and emerged victorious, slaying his adversary with a single stroke. With this feat, Kato Kiyomasa's star began to rise even further. He went on to conquer Nihoseki Castle and Kamo Castle, and while in the midst of a siege at Bichu Takamatsu Castle, the unexpected Hanaji incident unfolded. In response, Kiyomasa made peace with the Mori clan. aligning himself with Hideyoshi's call to subdue Akechi Mitsuhide and launched a swift and decisive counterattack known as the Great Return to China. In the climactic Battle of Yamazaki, Kato, Kiyomasa showcased his valor once again, slaying the brave warrior, Kondo Hansake, of the Akechi faction. His triumphs in battle elevated his reputation even further, solidifying his place among the renowned warriors of the time. Stay tuned for more tales of Kato Kiyomasa's extraordinary exploits as he fearlessly charges into the pages of history with unwavering determination and a sword that never fails. Once upon a time, in the thrilling Battle of Shizugatake, the name of Kato Kiyomasa echoed through the land. This was the decisive conflict that determined Oda Nobunaga's successor. And it was here that Kiyomasa achieved great renown. In the midst of the battle, Kiyomasa valiantly slew the turncoat warrior, Yamaji Masakuni, who had switched sides from the Toyotomi camp to the Shibata camp. This impressive feat propelled Kiyomasa into the spotlight, solidifying his reputation as a formidable warrior. Among the brave warriors who demonstrated exceptional valor during the Battle of Shizugatake, a group of 7 individuals emerged. Known as the Seven Spears of Shizugatake, they were hailed for their extraordinary contributions to the battle's outcome. While there were other warriors who received similar rewards in terms of land grants, the number 7 was chosen for various reasons. Some say it was because the number 7 had a nice ring to it, while others suggest that it was a deliberate choice by Toyotomi Hideyoshi to emphasize the achievements of his trusted and loyal vassals. As a result of his heroic actions, Kato Kiyomasa's fortunes skyrocketed. Prior to the Battle of Shizugatake, he held a meager fief of around 500 koku. However, as a reward for his gallantry, he was granted territories in Omi, Yamashiro, Kawachi, and other regions, elevating his status to that of a daimyo with an impressive income of approximately 3,000 koku. And so, the legend of Kato Kiyomasa, the valiant warrior of Shizugatake, continues to captivate us with tales of bravery, loyalty, and the boundless rewards that come to those who face adversity with unwavering determination. Once upon a time, in the land of Higa, an uproar erupted following the hasty land surveys conducted by the daimyo Sasa Narimasa in 1586. The discontent among the local clans reached its boiling point, leading to a full-blown uprising. Unable to quell the rebellion on his own, Sasa Narimasa faced severe consequences and was ultimately ordered to perform the ritual of seppuku. It was at this critical juncture that Kato Kiyomasa and Konishi Yukinaga stepped in as his successors, each entrusted with half of the province of Higa. They were bestowed the title of daimyo, commanding an impressive domain of 195,000 koku. Although Kiyomasa had not achieved notable military exploits since the Battle of Shizugatake, his administrative talents were recognized and valued. He was appointed as a steward for Toyotomi Hideyoshi's reserved lands and entrusted with temporary governance until new lords arrived. It was his exceptional performance in these roles that earned him the responsibility of ruling the challenging province of Higa. Faced with high expectations, Kato Kiyomasa rose to the occasion. Skillfully navigating the turbulent aftermath of the uprising, he showcased his prowess in various areas, implementing effective flood control measures, introducing agricultural and commercial policies, and demonstrating astute leadership. In the whimsical tale of Kato Kiyomasa, the hero of Higa, we witness his remarkable transformation from a warrior of the battlefield to a visionary administrator, whose wit and wisdom brought stability and prosperity to a region beset by turmoil. Once upon a time, in the year 1590, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who had conquered the entire country by overthrowing the Hojo clan in the siege of Odawara, turned his attention to the preparations for the Korean campaign. Not only were the daimyo of Kyushu tasked with preparing for the expedition to Korea, but they were also burdened with the construction of Nagoya Castle in Hizen as a frontline base. The weight of these responsibilities was no laughing matter. In the Imjin War, Kato Kiyomasa was appointed to lead the 2nd Division, while Konishi Yukinaga took charge of the 1st Division. Kiyomasa was not only responsible for relaying Hideyoshi's intentions to the Ming dynasty but also had to contend with the fact that Hideyoshi's proposed terms for peace were unacceptable to both the Ming dynasty and Korea. However, Kiyomasa's determination to follow Hideyoshi's orders clashed with the ambitions of Ishida Mitsunari, who supported the idea of ending the war with the Ming dynasty and Korea, and his ally Konishi Yukinaga. They accused Kiyomasa of acting recklessly and appealed to Hideyoshi, resulting in Kiyomasa being placed under house arrest and excluded from the negotiations with the Ming dynasty. Initially, Hideyoshi ordered a withdrawal for the sake of peace negotiations. However, when the negotiations fell through, he once again commanded an expedition to Korea in 1597, appointing Kato Kiyomasa and Konishi Yukinaga as the vanguard. Kato Kiyomasa would soon showcase his remarkable prowess during the Battle of Ulsan Castle. Surrounded by a combined force of 56,000 troops from Korea and Ming, he successfully defended Ulsan Castle with a mere 13,000 soldiers. It was during the Korean campaign that the conflict between the military faction led by Kato Kiyomasa and Fukushima Masanori and the civil administration faction led by Ishida Mitsunari and Konishi Yukinaga reached a decisive turning point. While the military faction believed that the battlefield was the true calling of a samurai, the civil administration faction emphasized the importance of bureaucratic responsibilities. Although the two factions had slightly different perspectives from the start, the slanderous accusations made by Ishida Mitsunari and Konishi Yukinaga against Hideyoshi, resulting in punitive measures and negative reports about Kiyomasa's military performance, caused simmering discontent within the civil administration faction to reach a breaking point. Furthermore, Ishida Mitsunari, a member of the civil administration faction, harbored dissatisfaction with being assigned as the steward of the storehouse lands in Chikuzen and Chikugo, along with the allocation of Meijima Castle in Chikuzen. During the Korean campaign, Kato Kiyomasa was rumored to have gone tiger hunting and introduced celery to Japan. However, in reality, It was actually Kuroda Nagamasa and his retainers who went on the tiger hunt. It is also said that during the Korean campaign, Kato Kiyomasa carried a survival food called chosen aim, made from glutinous rice and malt syrup, which became the origin of the traditional confectionery in Kumamoto known as chosen aim today. In this whimsical tale of Kato Kiyomasa's adventures in the Korean campaign, we witness the clash of factions, the challenges of war and diplomacy, and the unexpected culinary contributions to Japanese culture. Once upon a time, even after the passing of Toyotomi Hideyoshi and the withdrawal from Korea, the conflict between the military faction and the civil administration faction continued unabated. Kato Kiyomasa believed that the young Toyotomi Hideyori was being manipulated by the civil administration faction, led by Ishida Mitsunari, and he wanted to separate Hideyori from their influence. Tokugawa Ieyasu, the foremost of the five elders, sought to expand his power after Hideyoshi's death and began pursuing marriages between daimyo, which had been prohibited by Hideyoshi. Kato Kiyomasa, in a fit of defiance, welcomed a daughter of Tokugawa Ieyasu as his lawful wife, establishing a family connection. This enraged the civil administration faction, led by Ishida Mitsunari, but they realized that they alone, with their limited territories and positions, could not curb the actions of Tokugawa Ieyasu. So they turned to Maeda Toshi, a childhood friend of Hideyoshi and also the guardian of Toyotomi Hideyori, for assistance. Maeda Toshi and Tokugawa Ieyasu engaged in discussions that temporarily diffused the situation. However, when Maeda Toshi passed away in March 1599, the mediator between the military and civil administration factions was lost, and the conflict intensified. Following Maeda Toshi's death, Kato Kiyomasa and 6 other generals attacked Ishida Mitsunari's residence, but Mitsunari managed to escape to Tokugawa Ieyasu's residence, foiling the plan. From then on, the likes of Kato Kiyomasa, representing the military faction, drew even closer to Tokugawa Ieyasu. However, Tokugawa Ieyasu learned that Kato Kiyomasa had supported the rebellion of the Aijuan clan in the Shonai Rebellion against the Shimazu clan, who ruled Satsuma. As a result, Kato Kiyomasa was forbidden from going to the capital. Consequently, Kato Kiyomasa could not participate in the Siege of Aizu and the subsequent Battle of Sekigahara. Instead, he could only attack the Western forces in Kyushu alongside Kuroda Kanbi. Although unable to participate in the Battle of Sekigahara, Kato Kiyomasa exchanged letters of cooperation with Tokugawa Ieyasu and invaded the castles of Western forces, such as Konishi Yukinaga and Tachibana Munashige, defeating a significant portion of the Western forces in Kyushu. The Battle of Sekigahara ended with a victory for the Eastern forces in half a day. And Kato Kiyomasa, who had fought against the Western forces in Kyushu, was rewarded with the former territory of Konishi Yukinaga in Higa, totaling 520,000 koku, making him a powerful daimyo. As a result of these rewards, the territories directly controlled by the Toyotomi clan, which were included within the domains of various daimyo, were distributed as additional rewards. The Toyotomi clan retained control over only Setsu, Kawachi, and Izumi, totaling 650,000 koku, establishing themselves as a major daimyo. Once the Battle of Sekigahara was over, Tokugawa Ieyasu's rule became unshakable, and in 1603, he was appointed as the shogun and established the shogunate in Edo. Meanwhile, Kato Kiyomasa continued his efforts in constructing Kumamoto Castle, a project he had started even before the Battle of Sekigahara. Finally, in 1606, the castle was completed. Kumamoto Castle was renowned as the greatest castle in Japan at the time and continues to be one of the three great castles of Japan today. Not only that, Kato Kiyomasa displayed his talent in governing Higa province. He promoted the development of the castle town, implemented water control projects, devised agricultural policies, and implemented commercial policies, laying the foundation for making Higa a prosperous land. The water control and irrigation projects, which utilized the frequently flooded Shirakawa River as the moat of Kumamoto Castle, greatly increased agricultural production in Higa. Kato Kiyomasa was highly appreciated by the people for these efforts, and they were immensely grateful to him. In a humorous twist, it is said that Kato Kiyomasa became a hero in the eyes of the people, and they even started jokingly calling him the Lord of Bears, because the name Kuma in Kumamoto means bear in Japanese. So, Kato Kiyomasa, the master of Kumamoto Castle, became affectionately known as the Warlord, adding a playful and amusing touch to his legacy. In a whimsical tale, Kato Kiyomasa, despite acknowledging the Tokugawa family's rule in place of the Toyotomi clan during the Edo period, never forgot his loyalty to the Toyotomi family. In 1611, Tokugawa Ieyasu made a request to meet with Toyotomi Hidetada at the Nijo Castle during the ceremonial event of Emperor Go-Yose's abdication and Emperor Go-Mizuno's ascension. The daimyos who owed their allegiance to Toyotomi Hideyoshi and feared that refusing this meeting could become a pretext for the Toyotomi clan's subjugation, convinced Lady Yodo and Toyotomi Hidetada to accept the request. Thus, Kato Kiyomasa and Asano Yukinaga accompanied Toyotomi Hidetada to Fushimi Castle, and as a bodyguard for his son-in-law, Tokugawa Yorinobu, they proceeded to the meeting. Legend has it that Kato Kiyomasa concealed a dagger in his bosom, prepared to clash with Tokugawa Ieyasu if the need arose. This amusing anecdote adds a touch of humor and suspense to the story, showcasing Kato Kiyomasa's unwavering loyalty to the Toyotomi family. In a comical twist, after witnessing the meeting between Tokugawa Ieyasu and Toyotomi Hidetada at Nijo Castle, Kato Kiyomasa fell ill aboard his ship on the way back to Higa and unfortunately passed away. The cause of his death remains unknown, but speculations of poisoning by the Ieyasu faction arose due to his sudden illness right after the meeting. Following Kato Kiyomasa's death, the Kato family faced an unexpected turn of events. In 1632, during the reign of Kato Tadahiro, who succeeded Kiyomasa's position, they were abruptly stripped of their domain and power. The official reason for their downfall was cited as Tadahiro's improper conduct as a daimyo. However, there are theories suggesting that it was due to his inability to control his vassals effectively and his close relationship with Tokugawa Tadanaga, the younger brother of the third shogun. Tokugawa Iemitsu, with whom he had a strained relationship. The tale takes a humorous twist as the Kato family, once revered under Kiyomasa's rule, faces unexpected challenges and intrigues, leaving their legacy shrouded in mystery and speculation.